Can't put me again. You can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't put me again. Can't put me again. You can't put me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You the chop line and a resort to crime. You can't put me again.
What fi money in no money, what fi at you in no at you. Covid money missing we in the your little rat you. Use the youth them money waste and bust a man to statue. Say me like a catch you but bigger than a figure you. Take the spin from money galang and say that is not you. On the head the man above end up him a got a bet. Too much it in the kitchen some a fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't put me again. You can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't put me again. Can't put me again. You can't put me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You the chop line and a resort to crime. You can't put me again.
For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, them rough and they down in our river. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
Stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love Lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Drunk, high, tired, sweaty, and barefoot. The PSOJ has arrived. They have turned up while Schoolgate was closed, but nevertheless, the PSOJ has arrived. Good evening, and welcome to Global Television Group. It is the people's point of view. We have started late, but nevertheless, we are here this evening. Hey, the PSAJ turn up whatsoever their name. Them turn up late, isn't it? PSOJ. I mean, the gate closed. Conference full, PSOJ. Like a whole conference full Sunday, they didn't have to lock gate. And all of this are gone. And PSOJ just bust round corner. A run come tired. How I go on around there? All right, PSOJ, we've got this, all right? We've got this. We will stand up for Mark Golden, PSOJ. I mean, the issue of racism, PSOJ, you know, it is something of our territory. It is something that we stand against vehemently, PSOJ. Turn up. So unlike you, we have to be drugged, pulled, kicking, and screaming to come out here. We're not like that. When we hear the word R, PSOJ, or is pluck up just by source of R alone. So we don't need much to jump in. So we got this PSOJ. I mean, you turn up, but you kind of turn up late. The door and gate and everything closed. All of the ticket them sell off PSOJ. You're going to have to go over the half license, go see if you get a drink. You can't stand up on the street corner and listen to music cross the road. I saw it go when you turn up late, you know? Never mind. I saw it go when you turn up late, PSOJ. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, dear subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening and welcome. TikTok, good evening. How are you, Kathy? Good evening to those on YouTube, on whichever of the platform you're on, GTV Group, Studio TV, or Producer Wayne Global. Sharon Bernard, Marcia Thomas, Debbie Jervis TV, Paula Shelley, RJ, Gloria Morris, Michelle Lewis Wilson, Esther Tyne, Yvonne Riley, Rosemary Samuels, Canadian Girl 84, Sharon Bernard, yes, Real Sweet. Sorry about that. Kristen Gilbert, Monica Hawthorne, Yvonne Riley, Tash, Norman Ferguson, Bernice Nicholson, Beat and Teach, Keisha McKay, no, McCoy. Good evening. Ian Ayres, Asia McCullough. Good evening. Evan Bradford, Kate Matthews, Bros, Baron Jones, Maxine Cummins, Anthony Alice, Denroy Daly. Good evening. Good evening. Can we stop sending the white money around here? I don't know what you mean, Anthony. The white, send the white man money around here. The man money around here. I don't know what you mean. Rockwell, Madison. Who else is here? Who else is here? We'll call Andrew Holness and the whole of them people them where everything I fall down. But when we get to Andrew, a PSOJ will really come out here for tonight. I will give PSOJ Q-tip. Because PSOJ clean out their ears and them now hear what I go on. You mean all this long, Lloyd Young? All this long, Everett Warmington has been behaving like this. Deanley, good evening. All this long, Everett Warmington have been behaving like this. G. Wayne, good evening. All this time, and the PSOJ see no reason to rebuke such behavior. But the PSOJ has finally turned up. The government, our government, Devontae Dunn, is yet to rebuke a practice that your diasporans, Prime Minister, faced abroad. Whether we be in Europe, Canada, or North America, Russia, China, wherever we are, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the JLP government, this is something that we face sometime raw and bare as Everald Warmington are even on the worse side of it. How then, Prime Minister Sandra Davis, would you expect to stand at your podium and speak about a racist attack on one of us in the diaspora, Yvonne Green, while at the same time, Prime Minister, you condone or is silent, very silent, definitely, Prime Minister, to that very same behavior in your cabinet, in your party, in our parliament? Violet Watson, do you think, Andrew Holness, you could stand at a podium to speak against racism against one of us in the diaspora as well, when you condone the exact behavior at home, Lloyd Young? You condone the same behavior at home. I think the PSOJ, Lloyd, was just responding to the questions that was placed to Mark Golden today and the answer Mark Golden gave this morning. I think the PSOJ is drugged out on the back of that. I'm not going to celebrate them for turning up to the party this late. I mean, if we were waiting for their fee, we couldn't buy sugar tomorrow morning, could we? Rockwell Madison, Anne-Marie McFarlane, LeBron Stocker. If we were waiting for the PSAJ to turn up, pay and get into this party, beat and teach, you think we would be able to buy sugar tomorrow morning to drop against Lime Bush? Certainly not. We would have to drink the source of Lime Bush water or go raid Bee's Hive, get like a sweetener. Certainly not waiting for the PSOJ. So if the PSOJ come out today on the back of Mark Golden press conference and his answer given to particular questions that were asked, we don't welcome on Ladybug, how are you? We don't believe on it is not been done from the heart, PSOJ. This is a conundrum by the PSOJ, Elgar Fletcher, and the JLP government. EM, thank you very much. This is a cook-up by the PSOJ and the government to quell the discontent of a lot of us across social media and in the country. Leonie Bailey. So, don't continue to say, you're going to send the PSOJ come out here, come pull a wool over our eyes when our government has not addressed such an issue in our country. An issue where we still battle and struggle with, Errol Clark. But let me say to the PSOJ, we've got this. We really don't need your help to defend Mark Golden. Mark Golden is one of us. Yes, he is, regardless of what the Labour want to chime around and propagate. Mark Golden is one of us. And what we don't need, PSOJ, we don't need invitation to defend Mark Golden against racism. I mean, this is our normal territory, Mark Golden, PSOJ. It is our normal territory. You just have to snap your finger and we're at it. It's racism. We don't tolerate it. We don't condone it. We don't stay silent to it, PSOJ. We don't stay silent to it, JLP. Because your silence, a lot of the time, gives the same approval as not, as you would if you chimed into Everard Warmington nonsense, as the entire Jamaica Labour Party stands behind Everard Warmington and refuse refused to rebuke him. When Everard Warmington made the statement after the local government election that PNP councillors will not spend his money, that goes to the heart of the racist attack against Mark Golden, and I'll try to explain that to you. Now, racism is prejudice plus power. You must dislike a person for their race, color, and ethnicity. Coupled with that, you deployed the power you have to sabotage them, to prevent them from accessing services or whatever because of their color. That's racism, prejudice plus power. Now, when Everard Warmington uses his power to sabotage a People's National Party councillor, it goes to the heart of his sabotage against Mark Golden's leadership of the People's National Party, purely on Mark Golden's race, ethnicity, and color. So it goes to the heart of it. He's using state resources to sabotage a councillor, in the end, to further drive sabotage to Mark Golden himself. The Jamaica Labour Party government, under the heat of the day at the moment, even when Everard Warmington chased him off the day before, him come out, come make the statement that he resigned. Then few weeks later, him tell the media, no, I didn't resign, but them sacked me. But them remember say, when the people like Darrell Vaz and Adley Shad and the whole of them did want to do away with him, and me did have to use my money and my resources protect him. Resources meaning my gangsters, Everard Warmington, isn't it?
Warmington, or you demanded his resignation, or what?
This question keeps coming up. In our Westminster system, you know, once the Prime Minister, whoever the Prime Minister is, says, come, let's talk, you know what the position is. Our protocol, our convention is that once you're called in, you know, you say, Prime Minister, I offer. You don't wait until somebody says you're fired.
And under that convention, it's a firing, it's a dismissal. Under Westminster.
Everard is someone who has worked very hard in the party. Everard is known for his outlandish comments. I spoke with him. He's regretful. He sees the difficulty that it posed for the party. And in a deep discussion with him, he explained that today, mm-hmm. Yes, and yesterday as well, which was a result of his press release. He explained, you know, what happened and what led him to it. But as a minister, I think he understood.
Did you fire
Hebrews Lily of the Valley? Good evening and welcome to Global Television. So even in that segment, Andrew Holness was still telling us, boy, on the no say so Everard Warmington stand, him have a piece, a mouth pan him, the easy jerk word, wagwan bro. But Everard Warmington regularly gets away with this behavior, racist attack or otherwise. The government regularly turn a blind eye to him. If you remember when the Governor General was swearing in Everard Warmington, I think after the 2016 or the 2020 general election, even the Governor General make reference to such, and they're coaching us, in my belief, to accept Everard Warmington behavior, because Everard Warmington, I saw him say, his speech are colorful, whatever. No, we don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept the bull crap of Everett Warmington and this government. We don't have to stand for bigotry. We don't have to stand for the race baiting behavior. But Prime Minister, it was you who sparked the whole Everett Warmington racism went beyond the birtherism that sparked earlier this year, Prime Minister. And it was you, Prime Minister, who sparked that birtherism. Because remember, Prime Minister, if you remembered, after the phase 1 of the constitutional review that Mark Golden rightly didn't oppose because you were shafting the Jamaican people, rather than having the debate about our final court and other issues to do with the Maroons, the Rastafarian, the diaspora, and other issues, because it wasn't just the final court issue why Mark Golden did not sign off on the review. Rather than going into negotiation, Prime Minister, you were the one who instigated the birtherism. Because what you did then, Amanda Adams, how are you? Bryant, rather. I don't know why I say Amanda Adams, it's Amanda Bryant. It was you who instigated the birtherism, because rather than debating the actual issues of the Constitution, Prime Minister, you went off on a tangent that the leader of the country, or those who aspire to be the leader of the country, should have Jamaican citizenship and Jamaican citizenship only. And it sparked weeks of racist attack and birtherism against Mark Golden. Attack against his culture, his heritage, his passport, ignoring that the Jamaica Constitution gave no specific rights to Jamaicans to become a member of or representative or Senate. It spoke about the Commonwealth, which you all ignored and brushed over in order to advance your birtherism and your racist attack. And none of you, the whole of that time, if you remember clearly, I was calling out the PSOJ the whole of that time. Tired, high, and drunk, the PSOJ has finally rolled up. The PSOJ has finally rolled up. All this attack that has been going on in the media, because Everett Warmington does not carry out his racist attacks in quiet. It's all out in the open for us to see. We're still waiting for the Jamaica Labour Party to come out and, as the PSOJ says, vehemently. We're waiting for the Jamaica Labour Party to come out vehemently. Beverly, Arlene Foster, how are you? We're still waiting for the Jamaican government to come out. And as the PSOJ refute.
No white man can lead me. Everett Warmington made his displeasure clear about the prospect of PNP President Mark Golding becoming Prime Minister.
I said repeatedly, they claim Siago's a white man and shouldn't lead us, and they'll see me all over the south. I talk about this now, they want this a white man. So why you can talk about Siago all this year became white? And because a white man come, you saying can't lead Jamaica over me dead body. Over dead body. Not gonna happen.
To loud cheers from the packed audience gathered at the Tivoli Gardens High School, Mr. Warmington urged Jamaicans to put Mr. Golding back on a boat and send him to England.
We are, as all the while, we are descendants of the slaves. We don't want the descendant slave masters going to rule us again. We don't want it. In 1838, we threw off the chain. And then got trench town and lift up chain again. For what? We put me in a chain again. You know what happen? Jamaicans are so stupid. What we need to do, put him back on the banana boat and send him back to England.
It was revealed that Mr. Golding was a British citizen by descent. He's since renounced his British citizenship after much public outcry. The Southwest St. Catherine MP told Labourites that the opposition leader only selfishly bowed to public pressure. He says Mr. Golding should seek office back in England and leave Jamaica.
What I want to say tonight, England have 5 prime ministers in 2 years because they can't find nobody. So this English white man, if he want a prime minister, go England, they can't find nobody up there. They might use him. A country with 5 prime ministers in 2 or 3 years, can't find nobody. So I better go knock on Englishman door and say, Mr. King, may I come and left us alone. We just saw, we stand for Andrew Holness. You stand for Desmond. We work together for the Jamaica party to ensure victory is secure. Thank you, my brother.
Monica Wills, Joy Reynolds. Now, somebody wrote this on my page today, and some of the Jamaica Labour Party supporters are chiming around saying this. Donnet Hamilton. Let me address what I remember vaguely, and I said vaguely, from the Seaga PJ era. I don't remember whose slur came first, Colleen Jones, and you can remind me if you do. There was the black scandal bag slur, and there was the a black man time now slur. Never though do I remember that we degenerated into what it has become since Mark Golding became the leader of the People's National Party. I cannot remember that PJ and the People's National Party carried out a plethora of racist attack on Edward Seaga. There was the black scandal bag argument from Seaga, and there was a black time man now from the PJ Patterson camp. Whose slur came first? I cannot remember. But that did not degenerate into what the Labour Party has become today. With the Labour Party full support behind Everard Warmington. Ask yourself the question, why are they so afraid of him? Why is Andrew Holness so afraid of Everard Warmington? Why the central executive of the Jamaica Labour Party is so afraid of Everard Warmington? It is said that the bad man them were aligned to him. Everard Warmington will stir up things. Everard Warmington have secret against a lot of people coming Peart. So Everard Warmington can really rock the ship. One would tend to believe that. Why? G, how are you? One would tend to believe that. Jamrock. The reason is, recently when he was attacking the Gleaner RJR group at his constituency conference in St. Catherine, he dared the Labour Party. He dared one of them to stop him from going out on a relentless attack on the RJR Gleaner group that he branded as PNP media. But never once have you heard him attacking Cliff or Adam in public. The Jamaica Labour Party, Zanette Bedford, supports all of this. All of it. But how could Andrew Holness, in his dying days, everything collapsing around this government, even some things such as his bridges and his illustrious roadways, they're all collapsing around the government.
Yeah, man. So taxpayer money go around here, sir. Darrell Vaz and then contractor friend them.
Last time you know.
Craig Mill Bridge, you know? Labour right bypass. You've gone to see there again, brother. Yeah, man. So taxpayer money go around here, sir. Darrell Vaz and then contractor friend them. You know?
So a government which is so weak and absolutely buttressed into silence by his own failings can only stand aside Lilith Foster and watch the ship sink. Even Darrell Vaz have to call out the Prime Minister last week or the week before in Parliament. Use emergency measures to fix the debacle of our roads. When Dr. Campbell took to the podium today and outlined certain things that the Prime Minister had cut, has rolled back the legislation to do with the maintenance of roads. He provided the proof to that after the press conference. So Andrew Holness cannot really speak because everything around him is in collapse. Because he's such a dictator and wants to hold on to power, rather than do the right or the just thing, the Prime Minister has turned a blind eye in order to hold on to his failing grip to power, with the tourism sector disgruntled and giving the government nightmare and headache. And there is and could be more to come because craft vendors are also standing up as well.
We want more money! We want more money! We want more money! More money! More money! More money! More money! Better treatment! Better treatment! Better treatment! Better treatment! Better treatment! Better treatment!
Yes, Bahia, do the thing! Do the thing, Bahia! Yes, Bahia! I want you for the people! Yes!
This is a government in collapse where the state gets worse as the day goes on. People are demonstrating for more salary, better working condition, better road, better everything. People are just fed up of the failure, the failed promises, the collapse, Ron Wanless, James Brown, that this government has become. Underwater, this government certainly is underwater.
Yeah, man, Mr. Moore, go suck yourself. And give you a road. Take you all the money you're pushing on the pocket. You all pay tax, sir.
Road protest.
Hey, my people, if you have to use the Plowden Road, be very careful.
People, no don't make me start quarrel tonight. And I say, oh, me calm even when me rub Everard Warmington and Andrew. If I don't hit the like button and know, me will turn in a Everard Warmington pounder tonight and me not think when I want me to turn in the worst pounder. So, one support the live with some likes now, please. It's very much appreciated.
All the road from Rose Corner straight through to Plowden needs debushing. And you have a lot of this to face going up. It's very, very dangerous for a motorist. Very, very dangerous for a motorist. You'll see what motorists have to go through on a daily basis. It has been like this for weeks now. We're calling on the relevant authority. We're calling on the Member of Parliament for South Manchester to use the allocation to fix this section of the Plowden Road and other sections of Plowden Road. Calling on him as well to fix the Downs Road, Downs to Alligator Pond Road. We're calling on him again to debush the entire South Manchester constituency roads under his watch. Do some work now, man. Do some work.
When this mega project started, you see, they didn't have a dialogue with the community. We only hear, see, tell the group that 2 days we're going to have road fixed and water in 3 weeks. It's now 11 months and 7 days. First, we heard that they were out of pipe. You're laying a 4-inch pipe. They use this big machine and dig a road, the road in the middle of the road, 4.5 feet by 18 inches wide. It's a 4-inch pipe. That makes sense to you? Yeah. And after that now, we hear that pipe run out. Then after we hear that pipe now needs to be tested. Nothing has been done. All the happening to Mile Road and put a mile in there. If you have a sick in the community, just the road alone would kill the person. Because the road is not the dilapidated condition. We have spoken to the MP time and time again. I asked her in the meeting, Miss Madam MP, when will the road fix? She's waiting on NCC and NAA. Is it the donkey, the tail waggling dog, or the dog rolling? Yeah, I don't know what is happening, but my road is not being fixed. And we are suffering. My vehicle take 100,000 off the fix. I placed in the group that we're going to get some, nobody not give back anything. We only sit back like some stupid people in the community, and we take a bunch of fools.
So who organized the protest?
All of us. We have a group in the community. We have a CDC group, so we meet and we say enough is enough. We have to do something. And we're going to take it a little further if needs be. I mean, this is a disgrace to the community. I live in this community for 59 years. And the worst road I've ever been. And we don't have a water problem here. NCC need to replace some pipes at the top of the hill, then the people will get water. Now this mega project, this machine, I don't know what the name of it. 4.5 feet deep and make up the road and all them put back in them hall. Until we must be satisfied with that. So that's what we are talking about. Need to know too. The Prime Minister came to my hall and talked about this mega project and you people didn't have water for 40 years, they're going to get water now. That's a lie. So, how long ago was that? 11 months. No, it's January. It's actually at the same time when they started the project. Yeah. It comes from some time before the local government election. This is not political thing. This is about the people dissatisfied. We are disgruntled. We are not pleased with our representation. Thank you.
We're in the community of Mayal, guys. We're residents from the CDC. I've decided to do a peaceful demonstration with some placards. As you can see, it's majority elderly people who have vehicles, but their roads have been dug up for so long and all they have been receiving are empty promises. As leaders, we have to be more vigilant, more mindful of how we treat a nation of such remarkable people, because it reflects on our own ability to really carry through the leadership in a sincere manner. And it's not just about my yard, because I hear that protests are going on elsewhere and I'm not in power, but I've done things, for example, assist the people in Guava Walk with some marl to fix their own roads, and the persons in power are not assisting the people. Now what is the purpose of a government? And it sheds light on the whole fact that no more than ever our citizens need to be treated like human beings, and that is fundamental. We have to make a change, and a difference is imminent. It is coming. A difference is coming, and all this we must take into consideration, because Jamaica belongs to Jamaicans. I'm gonna leave it there for now, but I'll get back to you shortly. Have a wonderful day, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Now, Prime Minister, all of this, Prime Minister, suggests failure. No amount of racism, bigotry, violence, threats, intimidation, Prime Minister, will secure you a third term. None of that. You have failed across the country miserably. You have failed on your promises miserably. Even your minimum, Prime Minister, your 100-day promise, you failed miserably. No amount of threat, violence, or intimidation, or look the other side will protect you for a third term. We saw over the weekend gone the protection of the advancement of political violence by the Jamaica Labour Party, where police have to discharge their firearm as a warning signal in order to quell the violence advance by Jamaica Labour Party supporters, firearm deployed. I want to support the program, with quarrel. I don't want me to start the nights tonight. Take the likes to 200 for me, please, on the Producer Wayne channel. Can you support? Take the likes to 200 for me. We saw this very same Jamaica Labour Party protected and supported violence over the weekend, leading up to Sunday, even on their biggest political stage, their annual general conference. The threat, the violence, and the intimidation was advanced by Darrell Vaz, wasn't it?
To advise you again that there is no room for anybody else inside the national arena. I want to advise you again that there is no room for anybody else inside the national arena.
During the February local government election, one would remember that the same violent practice was used by Dean Jones and his henchmen to attack People's National Party supporters, protected again by this government. Let me check my WhatsApp, please. June Plum 26, Unique Ray. Thank you, Brunke. No, sir. No, sir. I saw on spring water. Murder. Hold on. Let me put these in my studio, please, while I speak to you. Give me a wee bit of chance, will you? Give us a wee bit of chance. Hopefully I'll get them into my studio in time before the broadcast ends so I can bring them. Judgment and Vaz. Hey, no, sir. Wait to check my WhatsApp again. We just check my WhatsApp in a beat and teach. Hold on there. Judgment. We just check my WhatsApp. I'm loading them into the studio. Hold on it. It won't be long. But we saw the protection and the advancement of violence from this Jamaica Labour Party. Their Prime Minister said a few weeks ago, I think it was at Nigel's constituency conference, the handover. I think the Prime Minister says he will never allow PNP-ism back in this country. Whatever that means, the Prime Minister has not yet explained. Roy Clark said this election won't be easy. It won't be peaceful. Chopper John said anybody go against Mama D, he will go down hard on them. And what the Prime Minister says, what the leader says is law. All of that unchecked. But as Dayton Campbell would have it, that this criminal, corrupt government and the backleg under investigation for ill gains enrichment, illicit criminal gains enrichment, the government cannot speak. The Prime Minister cannot speak. Because of the Prime Minister narcissistic, dictatorial personality disorder, the Prime Minister will hold on to power, and a Labour Party without integrity will go down with the ship. Remember, it was Andrew Holness' very own councillors coming out wailing, battering, splattering, crying and sputtering and telling us how bad it is even in the base of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Noble councillors and caretakers of the Jamaica Labour Party. I am Kim Brown Lawrence, the sitting two-term councillor for the Brownstown Division in Northwest Centre, a seat that has never been won by the Jamaica Labour Party since 1982. It took 36 years for me to single-handedly and barefooted win this seat. I have never had a walk with a party official here. I have never had a meeting with one here for my election, I should say. No, let me not say that. I've never had a walk with an official here. Right? Kim do it. Broke and everything. And she did it. Right? It so happened that 5 years ago, Ruel Reid was sent here as the caretaker, a seat that I applied for. But as they said, I'm not qualified. No problem. They sent someone, I worked with him. It so happened, that was the second letter written by one written after that. Anyway, let's leave that. Not qualified, no problem. I'll work with where I am placed. I'll grow where I am placed, right? 5 years ago, the court started from 2019. Every Wednesday, the council have to find herself a station, signing in a police book over something she don't know about. Reached out to the party, officials in the party, numerous times, seeking help to get a lawyer. None of them reach out to the answer. Reach out to our next minister. Take pity upon me and he helped me. Yeah, he helped me with the lawyer 2 times, 5 years now. 2 times. This is a case that caused me to close business, sell my father dead left van. The retroactive that I receive, I have to use it upon lawyer. I have to take time talk, you know. Because when I'm angry, I will say things one officer. I use the dead left, the sell a van, to pay a lawyer. 2 van, to pay a lawyer. The business money, pay a lawyer till the lockdown. Daughter sick, reach out, nothing. Get a little retroactive, liar. Reach out back to him, an official, nothing, no help, not even a reply. General, I come up back. I mean, no, I know.
With a discussion in there yesterday, because I just happened to come home last night and going through the group and see them, and I start put them in the group, where the chairman for Era Council 1, Winston Ennis, have to be telling the people them in the groups, regardless of what, you know, have to vote JLP, because PNP can't do no better. I have no problem. Personally, me, Rosie, have no problem with the party or the government. I have problems with individuals who enter the Jamaica Labour Party and feel that them can get up and talk to people anyhow and do anything, and you as a little councillor gal, you must accept what they say and do. I refuse to accept and do what people want me to accept. And nobody carry me in a Labour Party. My father grew me up in a Labour Party. And I can tell anybody, I will leave Labour Party when I want to leave it. Nobody can make me leave Labour Party. So them can go out there and them can spread all kind of rumor them want, because me hear every rumor where them a spread. Me no like the leader, me no this, me no that, me hear everything. Me not come out there come tell nobody say, me love the leader for them for satisfy. Nobody can tell me.
A failing base prime minister. Sorry people, I was working on some information to bring to you. So there's weather warning in the East Portland constituency or the Portland parish, and that's a message from the caretaker MP. I will also bring you snippets of the situation that is currently unfolding with the flooding. And this goes to the lack of central and local government service, particularly to do with our drain cleanage.
Watch out, people, watch out. So you want to catch me? This business. What's up? Who's going on there? Keep up. Yo, my family boss are there. Oh yeah, where you want to go? Yeah, I see me now. Yo, turn me now. But you can't run up by road. Huh? You can't drive up by road. Come on, you can't. That's it. That's it. Bamboo that put on my. That's it. You can't go for road, you know? That's it. That's it. Watch people. Watch out. Watch out. Ever. Hey, boy! Hey, boy! Yeah? Bridges.
You know what, Prime Minister? You need to add the doctor to your social media page them because you're quite narcissistic about it. Whether are you or not you, I know you have a YouTube page where you always go live pan or you event them. But if I you and you watch, see where I go on a Portland, Darrell Vaza asks for help. Say, and Vaz must have cried a river now because you know, and even though she cried about the water at Galilee, and Vaz must have cried right now, don't?
No, man, I wouldn't tell you. Outside. See that? No, I want to tell the person who understand this. Bomboras, clot! Bomboras, clot! Bomboras, clot! No! Whoa! Bomboras, clot! You want to go every day? Watch out, people, watch out. So you want to catch me?
A failure of a government running around trying to convince everybody how good and how well he has done with the economy. But if it is the People's National Party, when Andrew Holness, stop mad over the 18 years. You have half of the 18. Tell us what you have done with the half of the 18. Tell us about the failed promises for the impeachment bill. Tell us about the failed 100-day promise. Tell us why you haven't had a grip on crime. Tell us why you have lied about the economy. Tell us why you're protecting violence and race baiting. Tell us why you cannot have integrity and morals and step down. Tell us why you cannot your statutory declaration cannot be. I could go on and on, Andrew Holness. I could go on and on, leaving the 18 years aside. I could go on from Wheatley to Ruel, to Grace McLean, to Favel, to Tufton, to Nestor, to Floyd. Where do you want me to stop? Where would you want me to stop? If it is you, Andrew Holness, where would you want me to stop? 1.7 trillion, Andrew Holness, unaccounted for in just 3 departments of government. And you want us to talk about 18 years that we cannot fix? The reason why we voted for you is to fix any failure that you came along the way and identified. Man, go sit down and go look something, though. If you are one of your henchman features, go and go sit down and think about, how do I step away from this ship? Do I bow out gracefully? Do I tell the nation that I'm resigning on health grounds? Or do I just drag the ship under with me? But the protection of the racism not going to work. And to the PSOJ, you have turned up so late. Janet McIntosh. So late. You said the owner of the vast land them have enough work to do. So then claim Portland for themselves Sunday. And the Tuesday, Portland underwater. And me no see Vaz and Anne-Marie out there try drone. While all that are going, Vaz and Anne-Marie, Darrell and Anne-Marie must there get high. Or Anne-Marie must see her hear about the water and I have hissy fit over it because I don't know she foolish enough to sit down and cry over the water. But my people, do not be fooled by this government. This government and its lying, failing promises. This government run by acronym and overhype promises has failed us enough. If the Prime Minister is so confident of his track record, why on earth, what on earth is stopping the Prime Minister from securing his third term? You're on a high Prime Minister, woven in dopamine. You couldn't get more if you try. Canadian girl, how are you? Patricia Matthews. You really couldn't get more if you try. It will be your best shot, Prime Minister, for a third term. The rough seas, Prime Minister, that you are traveling on at the moment, with holes in your boat, Prime Minister, head ashore or head underwater is your two choices. Head ashore, Prime Minister, is resigning and give the reins to somebody else, or call an immediate general election. Run underwater, Prime Minister, is taking it down to the wire, hoping for the 9 months you'll be able to fool enough of us, Patrick Evans, so that the sell themselves Jamaica Labour Party base, Ransford McLean, will go to the polls and secure you a third term. It would be rather naive, though, Prime Minister, to believe that because you've been getting the messages from the local government election result, and even in the local by-election divisional result, Prime Minister, you have gotten the message, even at the central government level, and the low voter turnout into quote-unquote safe seats, Prime Minister. The message is clear. Call the election, Andrew. Call it Phil George. Call it, Andrew. Call it. Your best time is now. You will never have a best shot after such a high, after you've just pivoted, Prime Minister. After you've just come down from a high of your conference. Don't lose this momentum, Prime Minister. It's your best shot ever. It will be your best ever shot. Take the plunge, Prime Minister. The cliff is not as steep as you may have thought, or it may have seemed. You might just end up on some cushioning going over the cliff, isn't it? But taking it down to the wire, on your wholeness, it is certainly a slow death of the Jamaica Labour Party. Worse than the 18 years that you all continue complaining about. You might next be complaining about 30 odd years, because we're the direction where you are taking the Jamaica Labour Party at the moment. You're taking it into a mummified state, Prime Minister. This is where we ends tonight the downfall of the government. But how could we go without reminding you of JC and Mega, even a snippet of them? Even a snippet of JC and Mega.
So you understand the people that I deal with in my constituency. So no matter what happen, they have to come good. The rest of them who were there get $5,000 and a box lunch.
Bumbo class! Come on, scream the people. Come on, scream the people. Yeah, man, Mega know that disgusting. Fuck! No know that disgusting, so you what? Don't go like him as somebody. Bumbo class! Yo, Mr. Youth, I want to worst most this stuff. Cause I swear to God, bro. All of them come off Bumbo Clark, money for Bumbo Clark. I'm only going to come off on my side. 254.
Andrew Holness, like how you over here. In case you never hear about the vote buying from JC, and in case you never hear about the disgraceful debacle that took place before your conference on Sunday, now you know Prime Minister, so you can address it. And you never know about the racism from Everett Warmington. Now you know Prime Minister, you can address it, rather than you come over here with 18 here.
People. I'm only going to come out.
You cannot write this on the envelope in my account. Ready? You went for the envelope account. Yeah. The 26. No, 27. 27. Yeah, you drive. I'm telling you. I want to someone like that. No,
no, you see, alright, I'm sure on how it come young now. Listen, you see, Mega not deal with things calm neither. In a real life, although my mother, he not deal with things calm neither. All him to do, I take time and blood clot what he do. He go like him to avish. I swear you. That's why I'm not lock up my life, you know. On the top of the screen for me there. Top of the screen for me there, people. Top of the screen for me there and watch it this place in our bus. Top of the screen there, people. Top of the screen there, people.
Top up the screen and watch the display.
Top of the screen there, people, and enjoy the money.
Mega, take out here. Mega, get
Watch him. Mega Tabacrack on nonsense, man. All of if you go and everybody go on the bus and then the money share out. But nobody has Mega hear somebody say one thing cause Mega jump up and start custom the whole place. I know so it work.
Nyam them Mega, nyam them. Nyam them Mega cause you're hungry. Me no wrong Mega hungry. And when hungry ag see food, I so hungry ag rush. You never try to feed a whole pen of hag yet? We not go on like kind of Jamaica or no come from. Or no go on like you know about feeding a pen of hag. One not surprise over. Have you never feed a pen of hag before? Come on now. Don't act like kind of nothing where we're not used to. We've all grown up feeding mama, grandpa, or grandma pigs, or auntie, or somebody pigs. So, I know nothing what we're not used to. You see? And I know nothing strange. It is what the Jamaica Labour Party stands for. It is why they cannot call out violence, bigotry, racism, intimidation, threats of violence, or the actual carrying out of the violence they threat. A government in decline, a failure of two-term, a government of many failed, overhyped promises. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Even though we turn up a bit late, you still turn up and you supported the program. To all of our new subscribers and followers on whichever platform you follow or subscribe to us, thank you very much for your support. Thanks to TikTok. Kathy, thank you. Thanks to everyone on the YouTube channels. Good night from the Global Television Group. Join us tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. This was the fall of Andrew Holness-led JLP government. Good night.
I truly believe our political system needs some fixing. Too much you hear about corrupt politicians and nothing happen. Too much you hear about politicians who take away poor people money and none of them reach in jail. And to the young people at home or wherever you are, and to all Jamaicans, I have one question for you. Take a look at your communities. Take a look at the sliding dollar. Take a look at the failing healthcare and ask yourselves, where is the progress? Where is the progress that this arrogant and disrespectful government keeps talking about? With this existing callous government, matters have gone from bad to worse.